Good morning. It's Friday, August 7th, and the first thing I want to do is issue a warning. Don't drink hand sanitizer. It's been known to kill people. Yesterday, August 6th, was the 75th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima, which virtually wiped out a city of 300,000 people. The bomb dropped that day was codenamed Little Boy, and 3 days later we dropped a bomb on Nagasaki that was codenamed Fat Man. And these two bombings led to Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, and ended World War II. At that time, in 1945, the morality and legality of those nuclear attacks was hardly the subject of public debate. Nobody understood the power of nuclear weapons at that point. And this had been a long war that had been going on for 7 years or so, if you count the European segment. Several hours after the attack on Hiroshima, President Truman, who had ordered the attacks, declared in a speech to the nation, "If they do not now accept our terms, they may expect a rain of ruin from the air, the like of which has never been seen before on this earth." So we must recognize that Truman's speech to the U.S. people was in fact a warning to the rest of the world that the U.S. was prepared to go all out to end this war quickly. Remember, at that time, we had over 1 million troops ready and waiting to invade Japan. And I'm sure in the back of Truman's mind, he didn't want those soldiers out there because they would have died. Many of those soldiers would have died. So it was his preference, and probably the preference of all the U.S. citizens, to kill as many Japanese at that point as we possibly could and end the war quickly. In fact, over the years, members of the crews of those planes, Enola Gay and Boxcar, those were the names of the planes, showed very little remorse over the fact that they had been involved in those attacks. In fact, Second Lieutenant Russell Gackenbach, who flew as a navigator on both of those raids, told the Voices of the Manhattan Project in no uncertain terms, "I do not regret what we did that day. All war is hell. The Japanese started the war, and it was our turn to finish it." And that was the sentiment that prevailed in the United States at that time. Now, much has changed in the 75 years since those bombs were dropped. We have signed nuclear proliferation treaties, and there are a limited number of nations with nuclear weapons. And we are determined, most of the world is determined to stop the creation of nuclear weapons. Most of the world, I say, not all of the world. And now it's illegal to use nuclear weapons the way we used them in 1945. Now it's considered a crime. There is no question that dropping a large nuclear weapon amongst the civilian population is a war crime, said one law professor from the Harvard Law School. If you are going to impact civilians, you must provide warning and you must take precaution to avoid harming civilians to every extent possible. That is the international law, and it's written. There are documents that have been written about it. So you can't just attack civilian populations willy-nilly anymore. In Hiroshima, the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park exists. It was created in memory of those who were killed on the day of the bombing. 4 years ago, President Obama visited the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. He was the first U.S. president to do that. And while he was there, he offered condolences to the families and to the people of Japan. But he did not apologize for the attack. Now, every year on the 6th of August, there is a peace memorial ceremony at the park. And the purpose of that peace ceremony is not only to memorialize the citizens who are the victims of that attack, but also to establish the memory of nuclear horrors and to advocate world peace. Unfortunately, world peace does not resonate very well in the world today. And so, on the 75th anniversary of the bombing, I figure I'd talk a little bit about it. And hopefully, going forward, we'll recognize that horrible event. And maybe we'll even come together as a world and create a universe where it doesn't matter what religion you are, where it doesn't matter what color your skin is, where it doesn't matter what your ideological beliefs are. It only matters that we take good care of one another, that we want to live a decent, peaceful life, that we want to eliminate poverty and ignorance in the world. That's what we should be striving for. We should not be worrying about amassing a nuclear stockpile. We need to work together. So that's my rant for today, and hopefully I'll see you in the morning. Bye.